we had a big storm outside, so all outside activities came to a stop. And I haven't been in here in actually a little while since the last auction. Came up and did some train runs, had some weather. So I was out chasing trains, right? Kind of taking a break because the weather was a little bit off. Couldn't do any more septic work up north and couldn't do any more farm work down here, cutting a road in the hillside. And so I went up on the CSX main line and got some video. I'll post some of that, I'm sure. But while I was going from point A to point B, I walked into one of those thrift shops. I see that poor struggling. Needs a little bit of lubrication. It's just like a locomotive. But anyway, I walked into a thrift shop and found this. And the funny thing is, I've actually been looking for one of these things. So I really didn't care the price. You know, you sort of get skewed when you go to the auctions and stuff like that, to the shows where you're looking for deals. And, you know, a lot of times you just grab things based on the fact that it's a hell of a good deal versus something you really, really want. Well, I wanted another Pennsylvania Caboose. So it really didn't matter what the price point was. I was going to buy that thing. So I bought it for $15, which actually is a decent price. And I think I'm going to go unplug the poor. Oh, actually, let me just see if I can shut it off from here. Yeah, that shuts off too much. Yeah, I have to go over there and pick it out of the layout and see if you can get some little... Where were we? Oh, that's right. We were talking about this. Out chasing CSX trains on the main line. Got a couple really good shots, too, actually. A couple good videos. Went to a thrift store and found this. And, you know, we kind of get skewed with the auctions, like I said before. But there's a few things that I actually want. So when I do see them, price is not the issue. And the funny thing is, the price was actually very good, $15. I think the tag is still on it somewhere. No, it was on it, $15. Oh, that's right. They take the tag to identify the person who's selling it. But since I have Pennsylvania on the head end of this, perfect train to put that on and run it around in circles a little bit and see how it goes. See how it goes up an incline? It's going to be quite the pull to get this thing started. Alright, I think that's good enough. So let's put the camera down. I'll pull it out of the box and put it on the back of this train. Pretty simple, you know, pretty basic. It's not their fancy stuff, you know. Just a car. I think I have to turn it around though, right? Yeah. Now the fancier ones have got little springs that thud. And the suspension and everything else, but I think this kind of fits the spirit of my railroad. Pretty much all budget stuff. So let's see if we can get this thing going without pulling it off the track. perfect. Now I guess I'll have to add a light to it or something, right? It's about the most basic of the Lionel cabooses. Let's see what the box says about it. The box is in great shape. No kidding. Real cool. Now, of course, I've got this fancy MTH caboose. Let's see if we can pull that one around. Yeah, they're not really a fair comparison. It's got the little springs. You know, it's got nice details around window caboose. I still like it. I would say something like the tale of two cabooses, but I think that's a little bit too corny. And I just thought that would look a little bit better behind a coal drag with a couple of old steam locomotives. You know, as compared to behind a bunch of O-scale cars and sophisticated twin motored locomotives with twin can motors with flywheels and all that. You know, this old basic Lionel stuff has entertained people for decades. You know, so that's a nice little train right there. I finally have a caboose that fits. Well, now that we have a caboose that fits, how about a locomotive on the bottom side here that fits a freight application for Pennsylvania? Because the GG1 was primarily passenger, although I read later in their life they got deployed to freight once in a while, but their main mission was passenger service. How about something now that's different? Better. That's a Alco FA2, and that was a pure freight locomotive. I'm not sure they got used in passenger service. I'm sure they did. They're versatile. But that was the ones that came out in the 40s with a 244 that had a disastrous start. They eventually made them work. And then that series, that car body series, eventually turned into something quite a bit more reliable when they were built in Canada. And they were the FPA 4s with the 251s in them. But this one, let's see if we can get it to go. Oh, look at that. That's just fine. That's a good running locomotive right there. Jeez. Well, there you go. Sun came out. There's still some storms over there in the horizon, but I ain't gonna worry about it. So there's my Lionel Pennsylvania square window caboose for the 027 stuff. And I'm here to tell you I have just as much fun with this old Lionel, even though it's not historically accurate. I don't think they ever used the Pacific K4s for freight. If so, it's pretty rare. I thought they had in the past because I'd seen some pictures, but I guess that was an anomaly, not the norm. And I think we have to upgrade our Pennsylvania locomotive collection to have a couple of decapods and mountain M1s, to be more accurate on these coal hauls. But that one is. They sure pull a lot of freight with those. And they did double up those steam locomotives, but usually it was mountains or the coal hauls. But who cares? Not really. Projects. There's a project. I've got one axle running, the other one not. I'm going to suspect that either the motor is bad or the wiring is bad. Probably the wiring. That usually is what happens in those things. At least that's what I've seen. That's a Williams. I still have to put the traction tires on that. I got it wired up again. Man, that thing's a nice locomotive right there. Sometimes I just want to run those. And these, instead of those old scale things. So, anyway.